like a tiny bit naked in it, but that's about it.
So it's worth watching then.
Yeah. Do you know in the recent film, by the way, it was the one she was like she's in recently, and everybody was bigging it up, saying, "Oh, Emma Watson nude." It's a bloody body double. Like the screens of it are already coming out. And it's clearly somebody else. It's like, for God's sakes, all that hype over Emma Watson, like the Hermione
Why was
Granger
it a body
actress,
double?
because that's what celebrities do, don't they? They appear nude in
She's
inverted
a
commas.
she's a very very proactive feminist. I would have thought that she'd be not wanting to. You know what I mean? No
Oh,
shame kind of thing.
oh, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, I'll shut up now before I say something controversial.
Are you gonna do an intro or am I, by the way?
Um, you can.
All right, okay, I'll do one. Tell me
Must
when
be
you
good.
flick to game screen.
Oh yeah, I need to do that. That's a good point. There you go. Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to what is the game three of a semi-final match between Barton and Noggano. Both players taking one match each already in the semi-finals. Of course, Barton, with the most VP leads in his first game, does have faction selection, and the players have agreed to play on Langriskaya, which of course means we could be in for a very long game here. Now, it's important to say that we didn't actually catch games 1 and 2 because we were casting another bracket. However, clearly something has gone on between these two guys. They've been playing for a long time. The matches apparently have been very, very lengthy. So interested to see how this goes. They've both had a chance to feel out each other's strategies for the days. It's quite likely they're playing the same faction selections as well.
They are indeed. Barton is the Polish warrior. He waits for the late game and he strikes. Nagano, he's the Russian strategist. He is a very high-level player, and he plays in a very effective and efficient ways with sharp jabs, trying to make big incisions in his enemy's territory and try and exploit weaknesses here, left, right, and centre. So the playoff between these two characters is massive. How this game will happen, it's going to be anyone for tell. I mean, the odds should be 50-50. We had game chat predicting Barton's going to take the win, but I know, as somebody that's casted a hell of a lot on Noggano recently, this guy is dangerous.
Interestingly, though, if we put into perspective people's experience with playing other players, you know, Barton has been beating Jezelin, Jezelin has been beating Nagano in their matchups, so obviously that comes down to a bit of rivalry that they have, but you could stand to say that Barton would be the more likely winner here.
Mm. I think we've been here before, Dan. You know I'm a Nagano, you know I'm a Nagano fanboy, and and Nagano's beaten the best, and he might show us that again today. So, that aside, I think we should get down to business, start talking about builds. We've got Barton, second Maxim already out. Pretty clear to see where the Soviet player is going to go in this game.
Definitely will. It's going to be a couple of Maxims out, isn't it, really? And I'm watching this very closely because this is obviously where I failed earlier against Vindicare. So, you know, I'll be watching this play with the Maxims very, very carefully right now. But very, very good opening for Nagano. It looks like he got given a lot of time by the Maxim build, obviously taking a little longer to bring out on the field. So, plenty of resources for Nagano. It'll allow him to at least get his first building up pretty quickly. Either he can look to go into Shreks early on and keep expanding his army, or possibly go for some kind of early unit to try and keep Barton's Maxims kind of encased and few in number.
Here we go.
We've also seen that the ISG's been very popular here, especially today from what we've seen as well. ISGs are very, very popular on this map right now, especially behind the hedgerows. So we could be seeing an early one of those come out from the battle grouper. That'd be quite a nice choice.
Pioneers going for the cut-off. They are cut off by the Maxim themselves, though. They're going to have a full retreat there because they were caught out of position. As Dan rightly says, that does show that the battle group headquarters is coming down. I mean, ISGs are good against Maxims, but not good against Maxims in garrisons, so still not going to be a fully effective tool.
You know, it's not at the start, but getting one early on, if that is what he's going for, of course, will be very, very beneficial to him. He's going to need, obviously, the battle grouper there because Maxims take so much health loss off of your squads that, of course, you know, you need to make sure that you're doing that without having to spend the munitions on the Stern Pioneer ability. Interesting, the mine is going down from the Stern Pioneers there, so clearly he might be expecting, I don't know there, because there's 2 engineers on the field from Barton. It's likely one of those is going to be Minesweepers straight away.
Yeah, but it'll be a nice little victory there should the Stern Pioneers tempt something onto them. Like, if it was a Maxim, you know, Maxim's coming out from behind a bush can actually get prioritised quite quickly and taken down quite effectively, as you may have seen in your game earlier.
Yes.
Sore point. I think the chat lit up with GG as soon as that happened, to be honest. So yeah, he's got his own Stone Pioneer with its hazard removal package upgraded, so he himself is already thinking of mines. And he's going to try and stop the Maxims, most importantly getting inside that garrison, which is vital for OKW on this map.
Surprisingly little map influence at the moment. Barton's probably going to group a couple of things together here, lock down some of the points. You can see the Maxim is getting into position, actually putting a Maxim up on the flank, which Barton's clearly expecting something to come around from there, but he's probably going to change that in a second once he realizes that all the Volks Grenadiers are on the south. He's created a really impenetrable, wall of Maxims that Noggano can't get through, but looks like Noggano is just like saving everything he's got for now. We're just seeing a flak half track is being built at the moment.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, he's going to be pushing with that. He's already got minesweepers equipped on his stern pioneers. So obviously he's going to be able to run with the flak half track. It should be able to get some decent damage in, but of course AT gun in the build from Barton right now. There is going to be a pretty reliable counter for a unit that does have to drive in and set up before it can fire.
Ooh, nice shot through the bushes against the garrison there. He would have been able to tell that there was something in the garrison by clicking on it if it flashed red, and he's done just that. Mine goes off in the north, pushes away the Maxim, so killing 4 models, not too bad. Oh god, Stone Pioneer's in a difficult situation, could be going down to Flamefire. No, just manages to survive ever so slightly. Here comes the flak half track. Gonna lunge itself straight at one of these Maxims, more than likely. Maybe not.
I
Maybe
think
not.
Barton may have heard that because he's pulling all of his Maxims back quite quickly there, so it looks like he probably heard that vehicle was coming through the fog of war, though he probably doesn't realise exactly what it is. He must be able to tell because of the timing. It's very, very unlikely to be the Luke's at this stage.
Yeah, 6 minutes, so it could be a Luke's, but either way he's going to have to prepare for it, whatever it is, I guess. You know, so he's probably going to get some AT now. And there we go. The Zisgun is actually already in position. My bad. So, is this the most boring early game of a Company Heroes 2 clutch decider semi-final game you've ever seen, Dan?
I don't know, to be honest, I quite like the games where you do take a little bit longer to set up like this, because the plays start to come around a lot quicker than when both teams are running around like headless chickens trying to get early squad wipes and things. So it is quite nice. It's good to see the flak half track on the field, to be honest. I think that's quite nice. I'm really looking forward to seeing what will come of this and what the rest of the build is.
So you're predicting we'll see a big flurry of activity after this early game setup. And
I think the mid game is going to be quite good here.
Yeah.
Barton's already got a lot of lockdown things here. The flak half track is going to be good, at least at stopping those Maxims from coming through the hedgerow to attack the left-hand side. So although it's quite out on the field at the moment, that's going to be really, really good if he does get pinned back into his own territories, into the strategic area. He's going to have a really good unit for defending against the Maxims there, and he can put a lot of pressure on the AT gun to not be able to get in there in good time.
he's going to have to work his hardest to try and do just that. It's interesting that in this early game, with no clear victories from either side, we're not going to be able to really start to see, who's going to come out on top. It's going to be very much about that mid-game push. ISG just hitting the field now, and that mid-game push really, who makes the medium armor count.
Great shot from the AT gun on the flak half track. They had a very, very long shot.
It was ridiculous, yeah. But
I really like that Noggano's got this one squad always on the left, and it just makes sure that he's always got access to secure one of the buildings. So, definitely not wanting to let the Maxims get into this key building, covering the strategic point. They're doing a really, really good job of stopping that from happening, I think. ISG's on the field as well. So this defensive line from both players is really, really good. Both having little fights for the central VP, and a great bait as well. He baited with the Volks Grenadiers in the center. He's now got another squad in, and he's going to take the bait again, and this time use the second one.
Noggano there. He's going to be able to push on for the cut-off point should he want to now. And it's a great point about the garrisons, and I think that's something that everybody can learn about trying to fight Maxim spam in the current meta. ISG could be picking off on that Maxim. Just needs one big shot. Could actually evaporate the squad should it hit right in the center of it. Never mind.
There is one hanging slightly off, but there we go. That one could be it.
Dan,
Whoa!
Barton just used a Zis gun straight into the capping circle to deny the Focus Grenadiers from capping that cut-off. Great usage there.
Yeah, notice he's got 2 of the Zis guns out now as well.
Interesting. That's ripe pickings for Mechanized Regiment Headquarters and a Walking Stuka, but obviously we've seen battle group centric play here. Where does he go from here, Dan?
Well, I think it's important for him to have the 2 AT guns because obviously he wants to stop the flak half-track from being able to drive around. He's got absolutely no snaring units on the field right now, not even the potential to bring the snare on with the anti-tank grenades. So, having the 2 AT guns there is going to be very, very useful for him. He does need to make sure that flak half-track can't get set up and start doing some serious damage to everything. But Noggano's defensive play has actually been really, really good. Tier 3's going up from Barton now. He's already got the Raketen out on the field. I think we've maybe seen a shoe mine go down in 1 or 2 spots already. I'm not seeing them too far back yet though. So builds from both players are just very, very cautious though at the moment. Nothing particularly spectacular. Nothing suggests that we're going to see any outlandish plays at the moment.
And I think this has really mitigated Noggano's strengths. There's big incisive plays that I talked about where he kind of goes for the jugular and makes little snips at his opponent. I mean, the Maxim spam has really nullified that, so we're going to require the heavy medium armor play to try and make it happen. But, and I must point this out, I mean, no, I don't want to say that point, but I get the impression from speaking to Barton, we are friendly sometimes, that he really appreciates the money that he'd get from winning this tournament. So yeah, he wants to win this tournament. I feel he really wants to solidify himself. He won week 1. This is his chance because he's one of those top 5 players to try and with a Jesulin and Love Nest free week to try and win this particular week. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure. He's playing very cautiously though.
Well, I think, bear in mind this is game 3. If he'd won game 1, and this is probably what happened for him to lose maybe the second game, I imagine he must have won the first, lost the second, is, maybe with the confidence of winning a game, he started playing, some crazy things that Noggano took advantage of. The game 3, you're going to see some... They are just being so cautious, you can just tell, none of them's made any kind of bridge. Barton hasn't even gone in to his opponent's territory, which is really something that, a lot of people would consider important to do, is try and get that triple cap in at the start. But he's not doing it. He's clearly relying on waiting to get into the later stages of the game, bring up the later tier units, and then start to work up with what he has.
Dan.
Yes.
He's got the Mechanized Regiment Headquarters, so those late game tier units, Noggano, we could be seeing King Tiger, we could be seeing that Walking Stuka I was talking about to try and break the deadlock of support weapon play. So he's opening up options there, and he's really himself going to try and work towards that late game.
Well, we do have another option here, which is quite nice. So we bear in mind that Shock Rifle is one of the commander picks that Barton had access to, but you can go for the Mechanized and the Battle Grouper, rely on the medium vehicles, and then using Special Operations bring out the Command Panther later on in the game. And it obviously allows you to utilize fuel for the mid-game on some really important specialist units for the OKW. You can see the Stukas coming out now, so that could be a very viable thing to do, is rely on the Special Operations Commander to provide the Tier 4 Panther, rather than actually having the unit, the Schwerer built.
He's got both his first trucks anyway. He's definitely got the Schwer coming very shortly. So he's going to be able to break the deadlock, I feel, soon. T-70's going to maraud around the flanks though, so he's got to try and deal with that as well, and he doesn't have any mobile armour. He'll get a second Raketen though. Will that be enough? Focus Grenadier capping up the east of the map. Thinking better of it. He wants to try and focus on the central victory point, but there's so many Maxims there, it'd probably be a difficult thing to try. There goes the Walking Stuka. Can I keep that on control group 1? Have a look to see what its first target is.
As well, Special Operations would be very good for spotting targets for the Stuka. It's not the easiest thing to spot for your opponent.
No, especially all the big hedgerows of Longroskaya. It's a difficult one. And Special Operations is arguably, I think, tied now with Luftwaffe Ground Forces for the most chosen OKW commander in the current 1v1 meta. It used to just be Luftwaffe every single game, but Special Operations made a big resurgence recently. It's nice to see.
I think you think about how detrimental it is to the OKW if you use your Tier 4 structure, to replace it is an astronomical cost.
Difficult situation, Dan. Oh, it wheeled out of the arc of fire there. Very lucky that the retreat made the Maxim gunners do that. It would have been a full squad wipe if it wasn't for that. Jumps out of the garrison thanks to the flamethrower toting combat engineers. The T-70 is also in position. Kettenwerfer and Panzer Grenadiers wait for it. Barton yet again trying to cap with a Zis gun. Pretty precarious from him there. Doesn't want to tango with an incendiary round. T-70 picking them up from behind though.
Got a real stranglehold coming in. The AT gun's just set up for a shot on the AA half track.
One more needed, Dan.
Be very careful. It is one more, and I don't know if it's going to get it though.
No, he needed the garrison, Dan. He needed the garrison, but unfortunately for him, the Stern Pioneers jumped in it, and then the combat engineers jump in, but it's much too late for that, and no pickup was made by that Ziskin.
Engineers just picked up triple vet though, which is quite nice.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, Barton's just really strangling his opponent right now, which is really nice. You know, we said, of course, that in the early game it was all about building up to this point where he had enough that he could start making use of this wall. And the thing is, the T-70 is providing so much protection for him right now. You know, he's got a Maxim to keep control of any kind of flanks of any AT guns. T-70 is just going to bounce left and right constantly, keep Noggano exactly where he is.
The only difficulty with the Soviet current kind of strategies of Maxims creating a pivot point to build into tier 3 is actually negates the beauty of the Company of Heroes early game. And now, the Company of Heroes early game used to be dominated by flanks, light vehicle playing Company of Heroes 1, etc, etc, and it actually negates quite a lot of that. So only just now, 15 minutes in, have we got a game that we can like get into and feel like, holy crap, the T-70 is getting shot by the Rakettenwerfer. He's going to have to get the hell out of there. Does manage to get the wipe on the Rakettenwerfer. Flak half tracks waiting for these combat engineers to go into the building. Should they do that, it'd be precarious indeed. The Stuka is ready for its second salvo. Nice juicy targets in the centre should it want them.
Yeah, Barton's lined up an unbelievable target for the Stuka there, and it is starting to fire now. I can only imagine that it's going to be on top of those two Maxims.
No wipes, but does push them away, allowing the Volksgrenadiers to become unpinned, suppressed, and then cap. So that'll be nice for Noggano, and he'll be able to push and take his own fuel point, which he's doing as we speak. Victory point, seemingly, he just clicked off. No, he's getting the Rakettenwerfer. That's clever. That's clever. Combat engineers down, still just spotting there, getting a nice line of sight. They jump in momentarily. Flak opens up, jumps straight back out again. I love that Relic changed that so it was instantaneous, because we need more quick micro-based stuff in this game, and there you go.
Yeah, definitely. Just using it like that for vision. It might get killed now though, because it's standing very close. Look like half trap, but it's really nice that he's just flicking it in and out for recon because he doesn't have access to his own already. You know, it's just little things like that, being allowed to do that, giving you the opportunity of manipulating the map to find out more, you know, tactical information about your opponent. It is really nice, to be honest. Su-85 has just come on the field. Barton is putting a lot into the anti-tank right now. You know, 2 AT guns, Su-85, nothing really with a turret that is capable of pulling off any decent flank. So again, another unit that suggests we're in for the long game here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Katyusha come out. We're very close to that at the moment. Interesting.
Yeah, Su-85 is a great unit for long range scenario. There's long lines of sight. T-70 is a good symbiosis with it. Flak off track's done well. Dan, I know it's only got 6 kills, but it's managed to keep Barton from marauding into his own territories. That's good stuff from him.
Yeah, for now though, because the Su-85 is starting to peek around the south, and it may be able to get some shots on it.
Doesn't see what it needs to see. Maxim pushing really far in as well. That's Barton's game sense coming into play. He knows when he can push, seemingly. And a big shout out to Nvidia 970. I mean, I'm getting ultra level graphics about 5 hours into Company Heroes being loaded. It's so nice, Dan. Compare that to my like week 1 stream, if you remember it. Oh my god, that was hideous. Ooh, ISG firing. Smashing the M. He does that Maxim's under heavy duress here. Oh, here the Stuka for Zeus. Brilliant target. Look at the condensed nature of that Su-85. Oh, brutal!
Yeah, Barton's not going to be happy with that at all. I think he kind of asked for that. It was one thing that we can know about Barton, you know, he always keeps his AT guns together. I don't think I've ever seen them spread out, and it's just the perfect target for a Duke like this. Perhaps this is something Noggano knows that he can take advantage of. You know, 2 Rickettons pop up in great response to the SU-85 there and the T-70.
Looks like he's going to keep this Zis gun though. I mean, the Focus Grenadiers were looking for the SU-85 rather than the crew. The crew of the Zis, that is. So, yeah, it's tit for tat at the moment. Shock Troopers come in to solidify the position on that Zis gun, so he's going to keep it for now. But the Stuka has done the damage, 16 kills and counting.
And here we go, Special Operations has now been picked by Noggano, so it is as expected. Again, he's probably going to be using the Command Panther as his next unit. So 225 fuel for that. He's got enough manpower stored away at the moment, quite comfortably dealing with everything Barton's throwing at him. But again, it's such a nice commander to use, and also Special Operation flares that come in. The artillery flare is going to be so good spotting units, you know, targets for the Stuka right now, and especially with such a heavy support build, you know, for Barton to keep that wall of defense, you know, the Stuka's either going to force a mass retreat or it's going to wipe a bunch of the Maxims, so it's a brilliant use of specialist units here.
Yeah, Noggano's had a really good build, and it's not a build you usually expect either. He went half track into the Stuka for Zeus half track itself, so nice build, and I mean, both players are showing interesting builds. One counters the other arguably, and we'll definitely see a massive counter when this 225 fuel costing Panther hits the field, because that SU-85, if it gets snared or if it gets caught up in Stuka fire, it could be in a difficult situation. Ooh, demo. Did that demo get seen, Dan? It only just got laid, but I think the Focus Grenadiers.
I don't know, I think he saw that the engineers were there, so it kind of stands to reason. I mean, Noggano's not pushing through there, possibly because he knows. Minesweepers have just been flicked on with the the support package, so they can see it now. There we go, and the site's just gone on. That gets blown up. Yeah, I think they did get spotted, and it's a shame. It would have been a pickup for Barton there.
Create a nice crater of green cover for arguably Noggano to take advantage of, it being the southern tip of the victory point now. 950 manpower floated for Noggano. He only needs 560 for his Panther, so he does have options right now. 70 pop cap. Barton similarly on 71 pop caps, so both players poised to make this last a hell of a long time.
Look at that, great use of that flag half track as well, stopping the shocks from getting any ground in there whatsoever. First airstrike's just been called in.
Incendiary artillery in. Flag half track has got a lot of, well, it's not got that much veterancy, but it's done well for itself. I'd just argue strategically it's paid for itself, if not in terms of overall kills.
Wow.
Right.
Look at this manpower stuff.
I know. Obviously he's banking on the 225 fuel to try and get. Oh, here we go. Big Stuka for Zeus fire. Third one. Will the third be the same as the first two? Not this time. Does cut a silhouette around his forces. Oh, it wipes a Maxim down. God, it's got a long spread, hasn't it? I mean, I didn't even capture that on camera. It was that big of a spread.
You need to be careful with that T-70 there with these Volks Grenadiers pushing up. They haven't targeted it.
Second shot goes in and pushes it away, and there's infiltration grenades. This Maxim's in jeopardy to the car fire. Will it go down? ISG could take it down. Here comes the Panther. Very expensive unit down. I'm not expecting him to like throw it in against targets, but
no, but you know what? This is such a good build for him right now, because we can see, you know, Barton stacking up fuel. He's coming up to 13 CP. He's going to be going for the IS-2, and of course the Command Panther with one of the best abilities on any tank in the game, really. Coordinated fire is basically, you know, the mark target for the Axis. It's going to take, what, 60% I think extra damage is the statistic for that. It's something like 50 or 60%, and it is a huge amount, and the IS-2 can go down so quickly if Barton pushes in with it. So the SU-85 actually looks quite nice here, because it's going to be able to keep the Command Panther off at bay if it does decide to use that ability, allow the IS-2 to get away. But, you know, there's going to be no significant pushes for Barton right now whilst that thing is on the field, so it presents quite a problem for him.
would you argue that Nagano needs the Schwerpanzer headquarters eventually and needs to get a Jagdpanzer out or something? Because
I think he could. I think he could go for it, and I think it's probably a sensible idea, you know. But the good thing about this doctrine is you don't have to rely on that. You know, he doesn't have to spend that extra, what is the equivalent of 135 fuel, I think it is.
In 30 seconds' time, Barton is going to field the IS-2, and he's going to have Su-85 backup. He's going to have 2 Zis guns. Oh no, where's the hell's the other Zis gun? Is it being remanned? Has it been destroyed? It got destroyed, didn't it? So yeah, he's got 1 Zis gun, an Su-85 and an IS-2 against a command planet and 2 Rakettenwerfers and 3 Shreks. So oh god. Oh god, look at that fire! Shock troopers somehow escaping with their life. Singular. Flares going up, spotting.
And yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier. These things are quite hard to spot as well. You know, you may just see them if you're you know, maneuvering over the map, but there's no kind of there's no other warning signals that this is up. You just have to kind of be able to hear the sound and know that your opponent is watching you. It's such a sneaky doctrine like that because there are really no tells for anything.
Oh, look at this Stukavizu's fire! Oh, well dodged by Barton. That could have been game-ending should it have hit that blob of infantry and support weapons. Oh, good point, Dan. That existent rays, Vet 3 represent. That Jove and of course Noggano, being Ruskies, are good friends and practice partners. They are clanmates in the Ruka clan, and it would be interesting to see them in the final. Barton, the last bastion of the Polish, he's still in this just about. And even though the OKW player seems to be in the ascendancy, currently having the central victory point and the flat half track watching over it, Veterancy 2 and climbing. ISG also helping out in that regard. Oh, Su-85 misses. Big
I can't
shot.
help feeling now as well that the next game, you know, in the finals is going to be really, really hard for the winner of this because Joe's having a nice relax at the moment, you know, probably having some tea and some, you know, maybe doing some kind of yoga, I don't know.
Green tea and vodka. That's what he's having. That's what a Russian guy would be having. God, what is a shock trooper doing? That was the worst grenade I've ever seen a top-level player throw.
Well, he's just desperate. He's absolutely desperate for a chance that he can use to get the Su-85 in, and you know, I don't think the Shreks are really doing, you know, putting that much pressure on him. But the Rakettens are going to be the real big ones there, especially if he drives in with any kind of momentum to try and get the command panther.
We got the flak Hotrax doing a great job of suppressing what comes into the centre. Panzer command tank's getting aggressive now, scouting. You've got the Volksgrenadier who's flanked the Zis gun. Looks like the Zis is going to have to get the hell out of dodge.
Oh, what a dive for the Su-85 though. One more shot and that will go down.
Oh, he gets it done! Brutal! We got debris flying everywhere. Great pushing from the Panzer command tank. Brilliant from the Volksgrenadier, demolishing the Zis gun and proceeding to attack. Move it into non-existence. So that's a big play from Noggano.
Yeah, I really can't believe it as well. Like, we say this every week about how much all the strategies that are played in these tournaments are played right now, and you can just tell that Noggano has built this strategy to counter Maxim spams all week now. Do you know what I mean? And we're finally starting to seeing the ways that people can counter this build. So you know, it just shows how much effort people are putting into, you know, playing during the week to counter these kind of things.
Maxim goes down, and we've got the IS-2 lumbering into position. It has got hard a rock to throw itself against. 2 Shreks, Rakettenwerfer, Panzer command tank. This could go badly. No, he thinks better of it, and this is now Barton playing for the late game. Familiar position for the Pole.
Well, mark targets on as well, so this IS-2 is taking a ridiculous amount of damage to the Panzer Shreks there. He just can't make any ground with it at all.
Sandri Artillery called in on the half track. Strange. Pushes away the Rakettenwerfer at least, but Noggano has managed to take that central victory point. Could we be seeing an all-Russian final then? There's one player capable of playing into the late game and surviving and making the victory points count just about is Barton though, so never count the Pole out of any big leagues battle.
I think we've seen them come back from worse positions really, and the trick is just identifying what it is. But
Dan, the IS-2's in danger. Ice in big danger. Kenworth gets his second penetration. Here comes the Panther command tank.
Oh, well, the one chance the IS-2 has is being able to deflect shots from the Panther on its frontal armor. I mean, when the Panther does sink a shot, it's going to do a lot of damage, but, you know, by the grace of our own Jesus, fortunately, IS-2 is going to be allowed to survive another day.
You know, he could
It's a great use, though. It's just a great use of the ability, though, do you know what I mean? It just puts so much pressure on a build like this, and I'm almost suspicious, you know, Noggano knows this build very well, quite clearly. I don't know if they've played it against each other before, but he's really on point with this build as a counter for this. He's estimated perfectly what Barton's been doing the whole game.
Oh yeah, so do you agree that my fanboyism and my saying that the vote was completely wrong about Noggano may have something to it? And I have a lot of respect for Noggano, man. That weekend where he played in that 2v2 tournament that you cast, and also the 1v1 tournament for Co1 that I cast, I was like in awe of him. He played on the same finals in the same day, because our streams overlapped, if you remember, and Noggano was there in the finals of one and the finals of the other. He's an utter machine. Here comes the shock troopers again, throwing their very expensive unit to be being thrown around like this.
Yeah, he really doesn't want to be using them like that either. He needs to conserve a lot of manpower right now, possibly invest in new AT guns. His own ones, where are they? I mean, they're still on the field, they've been destroyed. I think one of them is destroyed, you can see the wreck for that. Another one, yep. Got absolutely nothing. Mark targets on again. Alternate is taking shots from the back as well this time.
Coordinated fire has been so good for Noggano. And it's just showing just how powerful this commander can be. And I predict now that, you know, everyone will be using this in auto match all of a sudden, thanks to this kind of play. Because, you know, our community isn't big, so when you've got like 800 viewers or whatever we've got right now watching, you can count that like 200 of them at least are like 1v1 auto match players. So all of a sudden you'll see, oh yeah, everybody OKW special operations suddenly. Not that it wasn't making a resurgence before, but this will solidify it. So, in terms of victory points, Dan, we could be in for an hour-long game here. Look at them. Look at them. So long to go.
They're neck and neck really still, aren't they, at the moment, half an hour in. It really is crazy. But I honestly do believe we've got the last half track, the headquarters truck, sorry, coming onto the field right now, so Panzerschwerer should go up. Wonder where it's going to go though, really. It could cover the mid, that'd be quite nice. It's unlikely that Barton's going to be able to do anything on the right hand side, and of course a Panzerschwerer in the mid right now would just be an excellent choice, because Barton can't afford to go all the way over to the left hand side to take the fuel on the VP,
yeah.
And it would allow all of Noggano's stuff to go over to the right.
He's going to the left.
Completely force.
He's going to the left. Because he's already got that flak truck in the centre, and if the Schwer was there in the centre, it could get targeted by the Su-85 that's been newly built. So I think that's the clever decision. I do agree with what you're saying there. It's a clever decision. Here, Stukovasus destroys the Maxim, and here you go. You got the Rakettenwerfer getting a big penetration on the Su-85. Where's the Panther command tank? It's currently on 70% health. Main got destroyed on the Su-85. It's going to back itself into its big brother. Oh, but the Command Panther gets the kill regardless. Great foray there. What do you think about that, Dan?
Really impressive. It's a mistake by Barton, I think, actually, to be honest, more than anything. He's not really building anything to deal with this. He's just kind of throwing shock troops into every engagement. I'm a little confused as to why he's doing that, if I'm honest, because there's just no point. They're expensive units anyway, you know. It just seems like a senseless manpower loss to me.
That Stukovasus heralded the push there. Did a lot of damage to the Su-85. The Rakettenwerfer got a great penetration from Cloak, and then the Panther command tank finished it all off. It was a great combined assault.
You know you're calling it the Fuzus, by the way.
What is it? How do you say it?
Zufus.
Zufus.
Yeah, you're saying Fuzus.
Fuzus!
And we all know how particular the German portion of the community is.
No,
with the
well, I've been having Summonbjorn, who's that Swedish guy that I got into the ESL admin thingy. But he's Code2.org referee, most and foremost. We speak on TeamSpeak, and I was getting him to teach me pronunciations because he speaks German and Russian. And I am getting better. I'm getting really good, but I just don't want to say it yet. I'm not ready to unleash my German pronunciations quite yet, Dan. And when I go, I'll be full Imperial Dane. I promise you that. It'll be like you won't know who you're casting with anymore. So he's going for the trip cap, and this is important because he doesn't want to let Barton back into this.
Absolutely nothing on the field, but it's very, very slow, and I like that. You know, the advancement for OKW is very, very slow. You know, he is pop capped. He's stacking a hell of a lot of resources right now, especially with that tier 4 up as well.
He got the trip cap regardless of maximum fire. And here comes the shock troopers again, told to just throw their bodies at the enemy. I know they have armor, but still a risky proposition.
I don't know if that capping is related to the Vet 2 ability of the Volks Grenadiers. In my head, it only really applies to kind of like firing under suppression, but.
Oh god, the IS-2's under a difficult situation again. Oh, ricocheted the shot, so there you go. That's that big bulky armor of the IS-2. No, the IS-2 rarely got penetrated, Dan. It's the crew died before it did. It was just such a big bulky iron hull that the shots just reverberated and killed what was ever inside, you know. And then they kind of got reused. There's documentation of that happening. Because there's nothing that much that could actually penetrate it other than like the big Pack 43s and such.
You never realise quite how potent the Maxims are until you see the gun firing before the guys actually put it on the floor.
that's
you watch the animation, it's like it just starts firing as he's flinging it. It's so effective, man. The instant pins. I think Noggano needs to be careful here. You know, you see, he's moved the the half track up. He's got Rakettans with it, and it seems to be fairly well protected. But these are the kind of things that Barton looks for, so that he can start making turnaround plays. You know, when your opponent overextends, when he thinks he gets that false air of security and comfort, and Barton starts to bring things back.
Damn, the IS-2's in a difficult situation. It's got 5% health. It's this ability of the Panther. One more shot, great shot there, coordinated fire in action, 35 munitions, all he did was push in, he did have the Rakettenwerfer helping out, and there you go. I can't see Barton getting away back into this.
That's an incredible loss for him, he's not even going to be able to replace it at all. T70 goes down as well. Barton's not the type to surrender, but he does it anyway, and it's, what a way to go.
That's the...
Apparently trying to figure out the rules to organise match 3 was too stressful for him, and it's cost him the game in anxiety. Good game though, a nice solid start to the game from both players. I think the one thing you can take for that is really what a great counter build to the Maxim strategy from Noggano there. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of people trying that out now. It's really, really useful, and of course that allows people to build a battle grouper first as well. So, a very, very nice build there.
I'm playing the Russian national anthem whilst you speak there, Dan, so let me just take it to the thingies. You have to do the Russian salute, the like fist to the side of your head.
What,
Dan?
Punch myself.
Yeah, no, don't punch yourself, just put your fist on the side of your head,
your
right hand.
It's like, it sounds very Russian already.
Just drink vodka and punch self. Duh. We have an all-Russian final, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. It's here.
Kubalesa, I didn't say that actually. I didn't say everyone was retarded and can only play ESL strategies. I just said there's a lot of people that are struggling with countering Maxims right now. They may just think, oh, that's a new strategy, and try it out for themselves. That's actually what I said. So don't kind of bring that into chat.
That was a nice game actually. I'm glad we cast the decider. You know, I think we would have been a bit more worn down if we'd cast all of it. I'll take the Russian national anthem.
I think Barton's going to be upset with that though, but it was a great counter build.
He played really well. He played really well, and I think he's in this big tournament next weekend. You know, he won the first week, Barton did, so He's already won one. It's now time for somebody that hasn't won an ESL tournament yet. We've got Noggano. Oh God, Noggano. We've got Jove, suddenly showing great play today. They've both been on form. They're both at the height of their powers, and I think we're in for a classic, Dan. An absolute classic, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, like, if Nagano plays like that, I can't really see how Jove will be able to do it, really. But Jove has played so well today. He's absolutely unbreakable. From the very start of the day, putting Von Ivan out of the tournament at, like, what was it, first or second game? It was just crazy, crazy plays, and that was from the back foot as well. So, possibly even playing from the back foot better than Barton can or has. So,
Do you have any? Have you done your raffles now for the day? How many have you done?
we can do another one if you want.
It's up to you, mate. I'll leave it to your hands. Just going for a quick toilet
There's
break.
more than enough. There's more than enough codes at the moment, but they should be saved, like not just thrown out. Loads.
Yeah, sorry. If you've done two, don't worry about it. Although I've probably set the chat going off raffle anyway, to be honest. Just entertain the chat. I'm just having a quick tiny break. The game hasn't started yet, so don't worry.
Cool. Alrighty, no worries. Oh, hey, Tenchi's here as well. Hey, Tenchi. I can see we have a lot of Russian people in the chat right now, so clearly there's a lot of people excited about having the Russian final, and that must be pretty nice and patriotic. From what I understand, I have a couple of Russian friends actually, and what they tell me is that in fact, a couple of them flat out refuse to play as the Axis factions because it's more of an honor and pride thing, that you play as the Soviets. So, I wonder how that's going to go down. Playing in the finals there. Hey, Moaning Mini is here as well. Obviously, he's streaming me in Twitch. There's no raffle, guys. Sorry, we may possibly hold a raffle in between the games of the finals if we're feeling generous. So we'll see about that. It's Von Ivan's here too. Hey, Von Ivan. This is your fault. You didn't rap. I'm not rapping, seriously. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's been a pretty good day, to be honest, for games right now. Seen some really, really long ones as well, especially that one between Barton and Price. A lot of new strategies played as well. I think Price's is probably the most I want to say diverse, but far out there. Stormless, please.
Just
Please
boiling.
what, Von Ivan?
What's that? What's going on in chat, mate?
Von Ivan said Stormless, please. I don't know why.
Stormless, please. I think.
Oh, is he saying? I don't understand. Sorry.
He's saying you should do a raffle.
He's not. He's not James Bond.
Yes, he is. He's either
He's
Bane.
not Roger Moore.
He's either Bane or Sean Connery. He's like, yes.
Is it? No, it's Sean
Kappa.
Connery, not Roger Moore.
Yeah, that's it. Kappa.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
raising
Batman.
the stakes.
Yes, Batman.
Miss Moneypenny.
Yeah, Bane and Sean Connery's voice are actually very similar. I've never realised it before. I've got a great joke for you. What time does Sean Connery? I've forgotten the joke. Go to Wimbledon.
I don't know.
About tennis. That's terrible, isn't it? I told you it was a terrible joke. Or did I say great joke?
Awful.
I may have.
Von Ivan's got right. Your impressions are a solid 2 out of 10.
Why don't you say 1 out of 5? Jesus Christ.
I think it's definitely lucky to get 2 there, to be honest.
My impressions are great. It's pretty much the only thing people tune in for. Nobody actually watches Company Heroes 2 casts. Oh God.
You're getting unsubs for that joke.
Woo!
That is good. Sweet. Okay. Well, finals already. And what time is it? It's 8 o'clock, so a little bit earlier than usual as well, which is quite cool.
God, starting
Been
to see
fast,
and it got
faster,
no,
faster tournaments. Weird today, but we haven't got Love Nest. We haven't got Jezelin. DevM isn't playing today. We were totally expecting to see DevM, but of course DevM got up late again. I don't think he understood that it had been moved forward an hour, so that's twice now that he's missed out on the sign-ups.
Yes, he
from being
genuinely
late.
did. It was really weird.
Barton's now ringing me through Steam excessively. Oh dear. There we go.
Interesting one. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Just ignore him. I think he's going to go on a trollathon to make up for losing. It's not. So it's a full chat. I've disabled all my notifications, thankfully, though, so it should be fine.
Yeah, we were talking before. It's like it's going to be difficult for. Obviously, we've now got Jove and Nagano, but Nagano's going to be playing pretty much straight after that
Oh,
best of three against Barton, which is going to be like. I imagine that's stressful, you know,
yeah.
and you know, especially if he feels anything how I felt after my first game today, after doing that for an entire day, you know, he's going to get like 15 minutes at max before this game can start. Sorry, not Barton. Jove, on the other hand, has had almost like an hour, you know, to do that. So to be quite more relaxed, and he's probably watching that game from Nagano as well. If he has been checking out the streams and maybe coming up with some counter strats. Von Ivan says he is #1 seed for the NA. Cool. Hopefully, Von Ivan, you will go further in that one. It was sad to see Jove do it, but obviously Jove being in the finals, I don't think you can feel bad for that because clearly he is being a finalist. No easy feat whatsoever.
It looks like, very funnily, the players are reverting to their Russian names, which is quite funny.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Someone's called Space Hamster, Space Dankster.
Space Gangster, did you say? Or
Dankster.
Dankster. Yeah, I'm with you.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, Von Ivan, you're correct. You did beat him in the early game, but sadly that doesn't count for the win.
That's
such
brutal. That's brutal.
No, I'm just saying, like he did like Jove did really well. I was just surprised. It's so surprising watching that game. I totally thought, and I've actually been watching you Von Ivan play over the last week and looking at your Puma strats. I was watching you on like Friday. I think it
you've
was.
been looking at my Puma strats.
Yeah, I was actually. They looked like they were going to dominate this tournament, to be honest. And it was just surprised that Jove just dealt with it that way, the way that he did.
Yeah, it was a difficult one. Von Ivan's actually been playing quite seriously recently. Like, all respect. He was trolling the NA cast though quite a lot. Like staying in games to an unreasonably long time. That was quite funny.
Becoming the Barton of the NA.
I used to think that all the Vons were like part of some strange clan. You know, Von Kluge, Von Aston, Von Ivan. I always just assumed they were like the Von clan or the Von family. Just a coincidence, you know. It's like, how are these guys? Do they know each other? And then I realised like Von Kluge doesn't even play the game, so I realised they couldn't be a clan.
No, definitely not. It's oh, Madhat, what did you say? Sorry, I missed it. Ask me again. I think people are going to take offence at being in a clan with Klug, to be honest.
There you go. I wanted to engage in some Kluge bashing, but you weren't biting the bullet. Not the bullet, the bite. Yeah, whatever. So where are these Ruskies?
I don't know.
They're picking maps. They're picking maps.
Yeah, I do imagine that Nagano is going to be trying to push the break as long as possible. To be honest, it's
yes, Dev is playing in. Dev is playing in NA.
He is.
That's so funny. But no. Oh god, I'll bring this up. This is so funny. I should make sure there's nothing in chat. That's right. Okay, I'll bring that up on screen. This is his name in the tournament. Look, it says Cash Grab Dev M, but his the E is spelt with a euro.
Right. Okay.
Which is obviously because he only enters tournaments and stuff when he feels like there's money to be won, which is fair dues to him. But it's more
Was
like
he changed his name to that?
yeah, he's changed his name to that, and I
The Cash Grab.
He was thinking of it, and I was like, why don't you change the E to a euro? But he's put cash grab at the front, which is taking it so like quite far. It's very funny. But
That's great.
it's not because he obviously likes the game and stuff, but people got this perception of him and Aim Stronger after OCF that yeah they enter in for the money, but if it's going to be esports, like kind of esports, whatever this is, you've got to expect that, haven't you?
Definitely. It's funny. Yeah.
These pancakes are so disgustingly unnutritious. Just like
Eating on stream.
yeah, you haven't heard me because I keep muting myself because I'm a nice
Right.
person.
Okay. Welcome to the pulmonary treats with a. He got eliminated first round versus Von Ivan last week. Yeah, I would say DevM's entry to the ESL arena was pretty low par, to be honest. I don't know if he really practiced, to be honest. I think he just thought he could steam in and not realize that probably a lot has changed since first time.
He knew that, man. He knew that.
Yeah.
From
Do you know, it was nice. It was nice of him to actually go in and sign up, because regardless of that, he still showed his face. Whereas a lot of players, I think if you take Aim Strong, he won't play the game unless he is auto matched so much that he's
yes, you banged on.
Amazing at it. So a lot of players, they won't show their face in tournaments unless they've practiced to the point they think they're, competent. But credit to him for still going in.
Yeah, DevM doesn't mind losing, and that's one of the great things about him as a player. He has played in tournaments before where he's crashed out in like round 4 because he just goes so for the jugular. He's so super hyper aggressive and so micro intensive that sometimes it fails miserably. And it's not like that hasn't happened before. In Co1 it happened a bunch. In earlier Co2 tournaments it happened a lot. So it's not like this is new for DevM to lose on stream to helping hands a few times and such. Although to his credit, he has now started to be about 50-50 with Hans in their practice games on live streamed on Hans' channel. So yeah, DevM is an interesting one. He plays the game very differently to a lot of high level players, and as I said, it is just a hyper aggressive play style that can just fail miserably. So yeah, it's nothing new, I think. But obviously he is rusty as well. I'm not saying he isn't, but just give him a couple of weeks, and I think for the February, I think there's 4 weekly February tournaments and then 1 February Cup. I think you're going to see a hell of a lot more competition. It's going to be a lot more exciting, and I think this ESL thing is just going to keep ramping up in interest. I'm really excited for it, to be honest. And we have now T-shirts and hoodies done, so our casting obviously will improve.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to the next branch of the ESL weeks, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. What our current plans? I did leak the information a little bit, but our current plans for next Saturday is we're going to set up a little mini studio, aren't we? It's going to be quite fun. Like, isn't that maybe?
Not confirmed.
Oh, okay. So we're still getting arrangements, but we're going to do something special for it regardless, aren't we, Dan? We're going to look to ramp up the ante a little bit for that one, and it's going to be.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking to do something a bit bigger for casting on the monthly cups, basically. So there's some things being organised, I guess, and hopefully I've got some space we can use and set up something professional.
You're not gonna. This hasn't been a big ploy to harvest my organs, has it? Like, stranger meets stranger on the internet, goes to Milton Keynes, gets his organs harvested, that kind of thing.
The real thing, people wake up with no kidneys, or like one kidney missing.
Oh god.
I heard stories about Vegas.
Yes. There's those famous what are they called? Urban horror stories or whatever. Urban myths, legends, that's it.
Are you gonna wear little bow ties and little suits? Why would they be little? Why don't we just wear a normal suit?
Yeah. No, they're trying to be
They're gonna wear like miniature ones.
They're trying to talk down to us. Are you gonna wear a little bow tie and a little suit and hat, little pants?
Definitely. A-Tanker says, are you gonna act all professional for esports? I think yeah, definitely. I think we should be doing it now, to as much as possible. I'm gonna definitely smart up for it for
now,
sure.
I was listening to DreamHack, and I was also watching some SC2 casts that were on Twitch recently for like 500,000 viewers and such. And the casters still have personalities. They still take the mick out of each other at times and stuff. Not like you have to be some kind of robot caster that's uber professional. So I definitely don't think we've got a problem there. Not that I'm expecting Go4 to get 500,000 viewers anytime soon, but you know what I mean. So I'll get you an observer party in anticipation of them surely starting soon. Let's get you in. It's a shame.
Danny, show your chest hair. No.
Yeah, get one of those T-shirts that goes down to your navel.
I've
of which you have
got
many.
one.
I know. Filthy coffee.
Will you finally buy a shirt? I've got like loads of them, Mad Hat. I don't really wear them for this, to be honest. I prefer wearing the ESL one. It's nice playing in an ESL shirt as well. Definitely love that. That's good.
Where the hell are they? It's always awkward when this happens. It says that Noggano's in game, so that's good news. It's got to be starting soon. I mean, Jove and Noggano, I mean, I know they're clanmates and everything, but we're not sure just how friendly they are. I mean, they could be having a terse disagreement over, you know, faction picks and what have you, so...
Yeah, definitely. I'm having a quick look through.
Plus, they have to translate the rules to Russian first. So I think Jove doesn't speak any English.
Right, okay.
Shall we plug Vet3 events, upcoming events?
You can now, yeah, because Vet3 is now officially part of ESL.
Is it?
So,
Is that
yes,
happened then?
it is. Yes.
Oh, because
So,
Omin and R in over what was going to happen there.
yeah, we can fully announce that now. Vet3, so 2v2 will hit up in ESL now, so there will be a 2v2 section to ESL. And of course, Vet3 is now sponsored by SteelSeries as well, amongst some other things that are being organized. So there's going to be more and more of the competitive scene integrated into this, which is going to be really, really nice.
That's cool. I think the first tournament's going to be run through the Vet3 events website, though, isn't it? I think that's the case, and I think
there's different ones. There's different ones.
Oh,
there's different
right,
tournaments.
okay. Mate, I'm completely out of the loop on this. I must admit. I was in the loop for Vet3 events at one time, and then I think I let it slip a little bit.
Cuba's saying they both want to play Soviet Union so bad they can't agree. I did say it earlier. I have Russian friends that refuse to play Axis factions in computer games. They will not even not once.
Well, you got to.
That's it.
Like literally, it's so ingrained on their culture that they were at this war of extinction between this fascist state, and it's called the Patriotic War in Russia. They're so like proud of what happened in the Second World War. It's pretty much like the center of their culture. Like for Americans, it might be the moon landing. For the Soviets, it's the Second World War. You know. So that's when Rallic released this game and it had a enemy at the gates standpoint. You had like 1,000 negative reviews on the Steam community. But yeah, I think I've got that game now. You'll be pleased to hear. It's only just appeared though. Very interesting.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna obviously double check. I mean, maybe Barton learned some Russian and it definitely is them. So we're gonna go for it. Let's go. Ooh, exciting times. We had a bit of a break as well, so I think we can attack this a little bit stronger. You know.
Okay, no worries. Did you do a profile check, by the way?
Mm-hmm. Well, their names are in Russian for this stream, for this cast, because like they must be proud that it's two Russians fighting.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that one pop up as well. So
yeah,
that's cool. I like that. I like that they've done that.
By the way, just so you know, the guy that is H-O as his name is Noggano, so that's an easy way to remember that.
Okay.
Jove is Mamka Acob. I can't read Cyrillic letters. I have no idea. But Mamka is Jove, so I don't know how you can remember that somehow. Mamka is Jove. But Noggano is the guy with the H-O, who's the OKW player in this circumstance. That's just for me and you, Dan. Obviously, they're players.
Oh my god.
What,
Brit
mate?
selection as well.
I
love
know.
that.
Hi.
Absolutely love that. Brits in the finals. Yes.
Oh, that's